gotta get it, cause I gotta get it. I gotta get it, I gotta get it.
What's going on? It's your boy SB. Alright, so somebody asked, a few people asked, does Amazon have the worst managers or what? I was like, whoa, I don't know if I want to talk about that subject. So let's talk about it. Alright, so does Amazon warehouse have the worst managers? It's always seemed like there's been a disconnect since I've been in Amazon, I've been in Amazon 2 years, 7 months. Most of that time was in the warehouse. I've always, from day one, seen a disconnect through like a barrier between the employees and salary management. Where it's always seemed like a disgruntled, or you can tell it just was, yeah. And you would always hear the mumbles from people like, man, managers, they just don't know what they're doing. Man, they're so young. They don't, like, if you worked at Amazon, you know what I'm talking about. If you look this up on the internet, you definitely know what I'm talking about. So in this video, I'm going to give my opinion on what I think about that. Do I think Amazon has the worst managers ever? And I'm gonna give my opinion on why people think that. Because there's some good reasonings why, and there's some things that I think a lot of people don't know. Well, you don't know if you're not working at Amazon, but that I've seen on the inside. So let's get into it. All right, so one of the main things that I've heard about complaint-wise when it comes to just regular associates are managers. And when I thought about that, it kind of made me think and look into the situation. So here's some things that I've noticed. First of all, do I think Amazon has the worst managers on planet Earth? No. I know y'all be like, oh, they paying you, son. Amazon got you monetized. Hear me out. All right, so the reason why I say that, when it comes to all the Amazon talk, people only compare Amazon to Amazon. You know what I mean? People compare Amazon to the image of Amazon. We'll put it like that. People compare Amazon warehouse to Amazon.com. Like, oh, all I see are smiles in the pictures and happy faces. Why is it not the same in here? You know what I mean? To be realistic, you have to examine Amazon with its peers, with other jobs. You know what I mean? So one thing that I can say for sure is when I look at all my other jobs, that's different warehouses, that's in retail, that's in sales, that's doing security, all these other places. Dang, is it the worst? Okay. So they're not the worst, all right? But there's a reason. I think I found the reason of the madness. When I compare them to other jobs, I've worked at other warehouses, managers are pretty much the same. And honestly, when we talk about managers at different jobs, when I've had a terrible manager, there was no one who I can go to. You know what I mean? There was no one who I can be like, hey, you hear this dude talking crazy, a dictator to everyone in this place? You feel me? Like, I haven't come across wild managers at Amazon, and it's for that reason. So the reason pretty much is they can't get away with that, especially for too long at Amazon. There's really a system in place to correct managers if some bad ones do get in. I don't think that Amazon has the worst managers. Now, let me explain the reason why I think they do struggle. So one thing that I've noticed as I was thinking about the question, I was like, I've been here 2 years. I've had 7 different managers. Actually, 9 different managers. 7 just in the warehouse. And one thing that I've noticed, I did not stay under one manager longer than 5 months. That's crazy. One manager I had for 1 month, and then the next month I had a new manager. So I think that's one of the reasons. And peep this, now this is what's really crazy. Every single manager, I think I had one manager who was in that position longer than 6 months. That's crazy. Think about that. Out of 2 years and 3 months, in 7 managers, I had one who was in that management position longer than 6 months. I think that's all. Most of them were brand new to Amazon. That's big. All of them were new to being a manager. Even the one that got hired internally, who has a past of Amazon, that was their first time being a manager. You know what I mean? So not one manager have I had where they were in that management position longer than 6 months. That's wild. So all my managers are all on a learning curve. I haven't had one seasoned manager. Don't you think that'll play a part in them managing if they're new to being managers? Like, most people don't know how to be managers. They're new to the position themselves. So they need that time to grow into being a manager. That's not an excuse for any bad behavior, but I think that's a huge reason why there's so much talk about the managers. When people say Amazon has the worst managers ever, these are people who are brand new to this role of being a manager. Being a manager is a big role, it's a big responsibility, and I think a lot of them, because a lot do come from college. I think 90% of all my managers come from college. All my managers except one was college hires, probably 2. And then you can't just put somebody in to a management role and expect them to act as a full matured manager. They should, you know what I mean? But they don't, because it's their first job ever. Or, you know what I mean? Like, this is their first role in management. So I think that plays a big part, because it's immaturity to the role. They watch all the videos and all these K-nets, all these things on teaching them how to be a manager, but there's one thing that you can't teach, and that's experience. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the biggest reasons on the topic of Amazon's managers. They're so new to the position. So, and it's not like they hire a lot of managers from other places. A lot of people get into this position that were not managers. Even if it's internal hires, they're still new to being a manager. It's different. When I've seen people get promoted from that tier 3 to the manager position, that the switch didn't turn. You got to move different. You got to communicate different. Your words are heavier to your associates. You can't sit there and have an attitude with them and get frustrated with them as if you were a tier 3 still. You know what I mean? It's another ball game. That experience and time and maturity will turn that switch, but immediately I don't see nobody just turn that switch to management in the mind. So I think that's the main thing that's causing this, the whole discussion if Amazon has terrible managers. Terrible? No. New managers, they have a lot of new managers. And then it's even worse because they're stepping into this position. If you work at Amazon in every position, there's pressure. Whether you're a storer, packer, if you on that first entry level, you think you know pressure. You do have pressure. What? You gotta hit rate. And don't go negative on UPT. That's it. You're good. There's no other pressure for you. When you talk about tier 3s, man, I can just do a video of that alone. But when it comes to the L4 managers, L5 managers, everything falls on them. You guys have a pressure of rate. They got a pressure to make sure you make that rate. Then there's the pressure of all the admin stuff as well. Then there's the pressure of always being on the floor, always being attentive to the associates. Then there's a pressure of, wow, everything's falling down and you have that one associate just, yeah, and then on Saturday, I went to my mom's party. It's like, can you please hurry up because this place is burning and you're not talking about anything right now. And not everyone can deal with that. So they got all that pressure of everything that you got to worry about plus more. Then there's the pressure of, okay, if these rates aren't hit, they got to come up with a reason why it wasn't hit. Okay, well, what's the bridge? Hey, did we hit rates today in pack? No. All right, what happened? I'll be like, shit on. Hey, go ahead and tell them. They got pressure. I don't know what Amazon, they got to do something. They got to do something, but they're growing so fast. What can they do? There are times where I have come across bad managers at Amazon. There are bad apples that get in there, you know what I mean? And the reason why Amazon they don't interview off of personality. If you know what to say in interviews, you can get hired no matter what type of person you are. So that won't come out until the pressure hits, until they're on the floor, everything's falling down, or they come in with a bad day. They don't know how to leave their home life at home, and then they're already mad from home. They come into work frustrated. People, that's a big thing too. A lot of people don't know how to separate. They don't know how to leave it at the door. So that stuff will come out when pressure hits. So yes, I've seen bad managers. There are bad apples everywhere that you go. That happens. There's somebody's just wilding out as a manager, and they try to pull that power move at Amazon, or they try to be, if they don't like you personally for some reason, you didn't do nothing wrong, you did all your standard work, you can talk to HR. HR don't play that. You know what I mean? They will correct that. They'll call, hey, we need to talk. Come here. No, it's not like that. And that structure at least helps it to avoid any unbiased treatment, in my opinion. Amazon definitely does not have the worst managers. They do have a lot of inexperienced managers, that's true. But it's like, if the goal for Amazon is profit, are they losing? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how is it still functioning? How are they growing? You know what I mean? I don't know. Y'all leave y'all comments, y'all thoughts. If you've experienced a bad manager, we're not dropping names, you feel me? I had to delete comments, we're not doing that. But what's some experiences you've had? And tell me, have you had a manager longer than 5-6 months? It's just weird. I've never had a manager longer than 5 months. Anyways, man, it's your boy SB. Be sure to put the notifications on, put the subscribe, click subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Yes, I am an artist. I'm about to play my song right here. Stay tuned. Let's go.
So I gotta get it. So I gotta get it. I gotta go 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 get it. I'ma go get it. I'ma go get it. So I gotta go get it. I gotta go get it. If I see it and want it, I gotta go get it. I gotta go get it. Looked up to the grave. Looked up to the grave. I don't see a difference. I don't see a difference. The fear in the face. The fear in the face. Said you better keep this. You better keep this. Cause I'm on a mission.